These are the 9 separate faceless niches that print $35,000 per month in a shockingly simple way. So let's check them out. This is our first niche today. It's a crime niche. Now, when you look at this channel, Hood Archives, they've just started. They have 34 videos. These are the 9 separate faceless niches that print $35,000 per month, and they are shockingly simple. Let's check them out. Now, this is our first niche. It's a crime niche, and this channel, Hood Archives, has 34 videos. When you look at the number of views that they have 2.3 million views, which is quite insane when it comes to when it was created, because the channel was created on the 18th of August 2025. So it's a very new channel. But I want you to look at what I've noticed primarily when it comes to these videos. There is that kind of consistency when it comes to creation of these stories. First, when you look at the thumbnail, the character is highlighted, and the other images that are relating to the activity that took place or the story that they are trying to narrate is in the back of the thumbnail, which is quite well captured on mostly all of the thumbnails, which is something very good. But also, what I noticed is that this channel is doing videos that are very factual, which is very important. When you want to go into such a niche, you want to do videos that are factual, stories that are factual, stories that happened. When you do factual stories, your target audience is going to relate with these stories because they know they happened. And well, I believe this channel is making over $40,000, because when you look at some of the latest videos, this one was done 11 days ago and it has 56 views. This one 6 days ago, 218,000 views. This one done 3 days ago, already 70,000 views and counting. So this is a channel that you can replicate. I believe you can be able to rent out the services of the people who are doing the voiceovers and the videos, and the narration has to be good. You can check out such a channel and you see how they are making their videos and be able to replicate what they're doing. Let's go to this one. This one is called Pirate Boat Ramp. They have 60 videos. When you check out what they've done so far, 60 videos, and they're already averaging over 8.7 million views. This is quite good. When you look at the stories that they're doing mostly weekend boat ramp stories, and they're particularly in one place. They're in Miami. What they're capturing mostly, this is boat footage, and most of the people who are having fun, different kinds of bizarre stories that are happening mostly in that area. But also, when you look at the thumbnails, they are consistent. They're showing mostly women, and they're on top of the thumbnails and the boat ramps. But also, the titles are quite consistent because they have figured out that people are really interested, and mostly these are audiences that are coming from USA, and particularly in Miami, which is a high revenue RPM when it comes to other viewers who are watching from other areas. So such a channel can really make for you money if you get to be able to have access to the right footage that you would love to use, but also how you're going to edit it also matters. The other channel that we have today on the list is called Darkness Beyond. They have 47 videos. When you look at the views that they have 3.7 million views. This is quite good. Well, what does this channel do? What they are talking about, these are kinds of mysteries, going about black holes, scary sounds, things that are quite disturbing but epic. But when you look at the consistency when it comes to thumbnails, the thumbnails are calling and are directly related to the mysteries or the things that they are trying to explain, which is quite very important. You want the thumbnail to always tell a story that relates to the title, and after you tell that story with these two elements, you also want the videos to tell that story. So also you need someone who's going to make the videos for you in a much more better way. I believe these videos, you can even make longer videos at a quite an affordable amount of a range in between $25 to $30. You can get these videos which are even much more longer, or even with an average of over 20 minutes longer, which would serve you well if you decide to go into this very niche. Let's go into another channel. This one is called Wheel Factor. They have 80 videos. When you look at what they do, they are mostly jumping into deep insights of the future automotive industry, which is really loved by most people. Most people love cars, and there are people who are specifically looking for videos that relate to this car niche. When you look at the videos that they have made already 2.5 million views when it comes to the views that they have made. I want you to look at the consistency of the text that they have. For the thumbnails where they are having texts, they are very consistent. They are using a yellow colored text which is coupled with the white colored text, and also they are including the cars that they're trying to highlight. Now, most of these luxurious cars that they're highlighting cars that are coming from China, which is quite unique. Most people think of China in a way of producing things that are not luxurious, things that are not really good. But what they're niching down to cars, but mostly luxurious cars, which is quite good. Their average video length is in between 15 minutes to 20 minutes, which is quite good. When you want to go into such a niche, you would love to get someone who's very experienced in designing or editing footage that will allow you to have this kind of length. But I believe this is a profitable niche because people are always looking for the latest cars and what kind of technology is embedded into such cars. So you have a higher chance of thriving in this niche, but also the demographics of people who can afford cars is quite high. So your RPM is going to be high when you venture into such a channel. Let's look at this one. This one is called Past Shutter. It's a very simple niche that you can venture into. They have already done 156 videos. When you look at the views that they have a high amount of views, which is over 2.1 million views. This is quite good. When you look at such a channel, what I've noticed is that their thumbnails are quite clickbaity. They are mostly doing vintage photos. When you look at their titles, this title says 100 photos they try to keep away from you. And when you look at other videos that are blowing up, because I believe this channel is picking up quite well, 100 vintage photos, too provocative for the world. So what they are trying to really create, they have created vintage photos, and these vintage photos are mostly of women. And what they're using AI to create these vintage photos, and they're highlighting them in a much more better way. I believe this channel, you can couple it with very good sound effects and or explanations of these photos and where they're coming from or where they were taken from, which is quite good, and you can be able to earn an insane amount of money when it comes to such a very simple AI related channel. This one is also one of the channels that I picked out. It's called Rec Check. They have 67 videos. And when you look at what they have garnered, they have 186 subscribers and 54 million views. 54 million views with 67 videos is quite insane. So what are they doing? What they are doing is mostly they're showing videos of car wrecks, but mostly this is AI generated videos. When we talk about a tool like VO3, you can be able to make clips of these car wrecks with the latest model coming from Google, which is VO, through which generates videos. And I believe when you have someone who is good, a video editor who can really get these videos together, it can be quite something good. Now, for the past videos, the video length was quite short, averaging 8 minutes. But when you look at the latest video that was done, actually their latest video was done 10 months ago. When you look at it, they did 43 a video that is 43 minutes long, which is quite good, and it's also performed well. What I can advise when you're going into this niche, you want to first of all zero down to the fact that you want to make, you want to zero down to the fact that you want to look for someone who's going to do quite good footage for you. But I believe if you have access to a model like VO3, you can be able to make these car wreck videos. People are always looking for things that are quite interesting, that are out of their comfort zone, and that's why you see these videos are really doing well. Most of the videos are over 1.5 million views, which is quite very attractive when you go into such a niche. When you look at such a channel, they last posted 10 months ago. So when you want to go into such a niche, you want to post videos at least every after 2 days. So consistency is very much important when it comes to YouTube, because YouTube wants to resupply your videos, but they also want to know that you're posting videos on every single day or frequently, which gives them an ample time to supply your videos to a large amount of people. So this niche is very lucrative, but you can be able to even make much more videos. You prepare in time, you make more videos, and you keep up with the consistency and be able to earn from such a channel. So let's jump into this. This one is called Navy Media. They're making videos mostly about ships and the Navy. You know, there are very many channels and niches that you can venture into, but I've noticed that this ship related niche is very lucrative, but in all topics. But what they're mostly doing, the videos that they're doing videos about warships, which is quite interesting. People always want to know about these kinds of things. So Navi Media has 103 videos, and they have a total of over 81 0.9 million views, which is quite good. When you look at their thumbnails, I want you to look at the consistency. We always talk about thumbnails. Thumbnails are very important when you're doing YouTube. We always talk about them in a way that when you look at the thumbnails have been done in a way that allows these people to be able to show the ships and how they are moving and how they are being surrounded, because they are relating. This is a Navy channel, so the stories that they are trying to talk about are war-related stories, but mostly marine stories. So these thumbnails are very captivating and clickbaity. They are attractive given the activity that they are trying to portray. When you look at the consistency that they always have that red arrow that supplements on the activity that is happening in these videos. And I love the way they're doing it with simplicity. This channel is just blowing up. When you look at most of these videos, and they are just blowing up. This latest video, which has been done 8 hours ago, it already has 40,000 views and counting, and their average video length is over 15 minutes. I've always told you, when you look at a niche and you want to go into it, and you look at your competitor, you want to know their average video length, and with that you want to do videos that are longer. So when you want to go into such a niche, the videos that you would love to do, they have to be at least 25 minutes and longer. You will have an upper hand in trying to outcompete such a channel that is already performing overly well. Also, what you want to do, you don't want to reinvent the wheel. When you see that the titles are working out very well and the thumbnails are working out very well, you want to emulate the style of the thumbnails, which is quite something that I've analyzed when it comes to this channel. But it's doing well, and it is something that you can go into and be able to do well effectively. Now, this is another faceless niche that we have on the list, it's called Tales with English. They have quite a small number of videos. They have 20 videos. When you look at their views, they have 1.2 million views. So what are they doing? Basically, what they're doing, their stories are stories of how to empower people and give them an upper hand to becoming better, but they're explaining them in plain English, which is quite well and understandable to their audiences. It is more of videos that are helping them narrate stories and be able to give their audience well narrated stories that are explained in clear spoken English. So they are combining English with stories, but mostly it is still images that are used with clear voiceovers. These are channels that are very easy to replicate when you have access to tools like Gen AI Pro, which can help you to clone voices or even make new voices, or even use a tool like 11 Labs. It can really help you to do the narrations or voiceovers for these kinds of videos. Now, when you look at the video lengths that they're having, it's in between 10 minutes. You can do videos that are quite longer than that. But also, when you look at their thumbnails, they're working quite well. So you don't want to really reinvent the style of the images. Of course, you can get a quite different kind of style, but it doesn't really have to be very far away from the style that we are already seeing. So you have to have that kind of similarity when it comes to the style. But definitely, this is a channel that can really work because it's doing quite well. Now, our last channel in the list, I selected this channel. This channel has the least amount of videos. They have 5 videos, but when you look at what they're doing quite well. They have already 640,000 views, which is quite good when it comes to the smallest number of videos. Now, what are they doing? What they were doing mostly crime stories, but they're using 3D animations to tell these stories. Now, they have done a very small number of videos, but they're doing quite well. I love this style of videos because they perform quite well. They are telling the story, but they tell the story in a very different way. Now, these are videos that you can be able to do. Now, I want you to see the insane amount of views when it comes to some of these videos. They're already just 5 videos, but the 4 performed quite well. And I want you to look at the thumbnails of the outliers. This one that was made 4 months ago, and it made 423 views. I want you to see how it was designed. The text, the red text that is coupled with the activity that is happening in these videos. This is the simplicity that you want to emulate in terms of the thumbnails, but also when you look at the stories, they're quite captivating. This is what you want to emulate when you're going into such a niche. Now, how would you outcompete such a channel when you're going into this niche? First of all, you want to have consistency. This channel is not quite consistent. They did the last video 1 month ago, and since then they have not uploaded a video. This is not really good when it comes to YouTube. You always want to have that kind of consistency. Consistency is key. At least you upload a video every day, or when you're not able to upload a video every day, at least you space it. Every after 1 day you upload a video. YouTube always loves consistency. It thrives on consistency. When it fully understands the videos that you put out, it is going to supply your videos to more people who are going to watch them, and people who are going to really allow you to your videos to get more ads that are run over your videos, and that the more ads that are run over your videos, the more money you'll be able to make. So this is something that you can go into if you want to make these videos. There are very many editors who are making such videos on Fiverr. You go out and you can rate them at a rate of something like $30 per video, which is quite a very good investment. If you're getting these videos in batches, I suggest you get at least 10 videos per batch, and you can be able to rent out these services, maybe you can be able to request for 2 batches at a time, so that when you get to the time of uploading, you don't have spaces in days where you're not really uploading videos, so that you can upload in terms of consistency, and you give yourself time to even make more batches of more videos. If you are gaining value from what we are making, the videos that we are making, I'm going to call upon you to please subscribe to the channel. When you subscribe to the channel, you give us an upper hand to make more videos for you. We're going to be able to bring more options of channels for you, so that you can be able to choose and venture into faceless channels, because they are very, very easy to go into, and you can make quite a huge amount of money from them. Thank you.